Hi everybody, today we're going to learn daily Tanya for Kaf Aleph Addar Sheni Tafshin Pei Daled. And here we go. והנה אם כל הנ"ל יובן היטב פסק ההלכה ערוכה בתלמוד ופוסקים, דהרהור לאו כדיבור דמי. So now we're going to try to understand the psak halacha, that hilhul, which is, that is, say, thought or contemplation, is not the same as speech. Okay, and therefore all of the mitzvahs which we need to do through speech, we cannot do through hilhul or thought or contemplation alone. ואם קרא קריאת שמע במחשבתו ובליבו לבד, בכל כוח כוונתו, לא יצא ידי חובתו וצריך לחזור ולקרות. Okay, so if somebody had in their mind, had a very clear thought about kriyat shema, and they thought about it, and they did it in their hearts with the most possible kavanah, with the strongest possible intent, that is still not good enough, and you would need to repeat kriyat shema again. וכן בברכת המזון דאורייתא ובשאר ברכות דרבנן ובתפילה. Okay, so the same is true for Birkat HaMazon and for benching and for davening Shmona Esrei and so on and so on. ואם הוציא בשפתיו ולא כיוון ליבו, יצא ידי חובתו בדיעבד. ואין צורך לחזור. Okay, but if somebody just said the words with no intent behind it, it still counts. It still counts. It's not the best, but it still counts, and he doesn't need to repeat it. Levad, and now we're going to go into some special cases where you would need to repeat it if you do not have the proper intent. לבד מפסוק ראשון של קריאת שמע, וברכה ראשונה של תפילת 18, וכדאית בראש פרק ב' דברכות, עד כאן מצוות כוונה, מכאן ואילך מצוות קריאה. Okay, so the exceptions to that are the first pasuk of Kriyas Shema, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, and the other exception is the first bracha of Shmona Esrei. V'hainu mishum. Okay, so now we're going to understand why this is. Why is it? Because it's the opposite of what you might think. You might think that in the end, what Hashem wants is sort of our will in this sort of more abstracted sense, right? That these crude actions are not what God really wants from us. They're mere transient expressions of what we might say is the core intent that we have. But we're going to explain why even hollow actions that have no intent behind them are still preferable to intent without action. והיינו משום שהנשמה אינה צריכה תיקון לעצמה במצוות, רק להמשיך אור לתקן נפש החיונית והגוף על ידי אותיות הדיבור שהנפש מדברת בהן מוצאות הפה, וכן במצוות מעשיות שהנפש עושה בשאר איברי הגוף. So he's saying, why is this? He's saying because fundamentally our orientation as Jewish people is towards God. That's our base orientation. We can corrupt that, we can hide that, we can twist that, but fundamentally our core orientation is toward God. So you might say that when we have no particular intent, that intent is fundamentally geared towards God. And therefore, the intent does not need in and of itself to be corrected. The neshama, the spirit that is within us doesn't need correction. It is the body, and it is the animal soul, that is the vital soul that need correction. And they need to be corrected through the doing of mitzvot. And one of those mitzvot is to speak the words of the prayer, or of Kriyat Shema, and so on and so on. All right, so that's it for today, and I will see you tomorrow.